Today's lesson is how a 20-year-old kid heard about affirmations and ended up becoming the most famous cartoonist in the world. What's up? It's Gareth and welcome to today's lesson. In his 20s, a kid called Scott Adams heard about this process of affirmations where you took something you wanted to bring into your life and a couple times a day you would write down 10 to 15 times in a positive way what it was that you wanted to bring into your life. Adams decided that he was going to test this process by dating a woman that he determined to be out of his league. So a couple times a day he would write down 10 times, I will date somebody that is out of my league. True to form, a couple of weeks later in a party, a woman who he deemed to be completely out of his league came up to him and he ended up dating this woman for a while. He then decided to test this process of affirmations a little bit more strongly by having a go at the stock market. So not having any trading experience, he decided to write down and affirm that I will make money on the stock market. And he wrote that down 10 times. Every single day he would write it down 10 times. One day he woke up from a dream and Adams says he had this idea of Chrysler stock, and so he hustled to quickly open up his stock trading account, and while that was happening the Chrysler stock went up and he deemed the stock to have run too far and he thought that he'd missed his opportunity, but he had his share trading account open. A few weeks later another sign came to him, and this is for a company called OK Computers. I forget the name of the company, but Adams decides that he's going to invest in this computer company, and in a week it goes up 10%. He cashes out with his 10% winnings, and he thinks he's been quite lucky. The stock doubles, triples, whatever happens to the stock, and he's like, well, maybe this is working. So he decides to level up again, and Adams goes through the process of, at the time he's applying to do something called the GMAT, and he gets a score on his GMAT of, I think he got 77, and he needed to get 85, for example, to pass. He took a bet with one of his fellow students that he was going to get 94 on his GMAT score, and his friend that he was taking the bet with was quite a lot more of an astute student than him and took the bet. And Adams goes through the process of writing down 10 times a day, I will get 94 on my GMAT, and starts to go through this process of affirming exactly what he wants to have happen. And he says he actually visualizes getting his report card and opening it and seeing the 94 show up exactly as he's written it down. True to form, he goes through this process and he gets his GMAT score having written the test, and he bangs, boom, 94. Wins the bet with his friend and is starting to become really interested in this process of affirmation. Much like my journey with affirmations and manifestation, and Matt's journey, and maybe your journey as well, has been going as you've started to see the magic of placing orders and have these orders show up in your life. Adams decides to swing big for one last time, and he starts writing down, I will be a famous cartoonist. He is a hobbyist drawing his cartoon, and through a set of synchronistic events that seem to be completely random, and it's something that we call confirmations from the factory, order confirmations, Adams meets somebody at a party who is looking for somebody to be a cartoonist for their publication. Adams applies, gets the job, and the publication explodes, and Adams becomes a famous cartoonist of the Gilbert cartoons at a time when nobody was making money out of cartoons, and he becomes probably one of the famous cartoonists in the world still today. And Adams goes through the process of unpacking this in an interview that he does, and all the interviews that we've listened to, he describes his story. And if you want to access this interview and deep dive into his story as he tells it, you can jump into the Mind Vault and listen to the interview that he does with Tim Ferriss, where he goes through his process of how he uses affirmations to bring what he wants into his world. So that's what we're going to do today. So your exercise for today to install affirmations as a piece of scaffolding into your lifestyle design journey is to take an order that you've placed, and as part of your daily pregame, I want you to write down in positive terms 10 times something positive about what it is that you're bringing into your life. So if you were wanting to be a world famous cartoonist, you would write down, I, Gareth Pickering, will become a world famous cartoonist, and write that down 10 times, again and again and again. And then share this affirmation with your accountability partner and see what they're bringing into their world. It's such a great thing to see what we're all hoping to bring into our lives and orders we're waiting to be delivered that we've placed with the factory as we go through this journey. So in a later video, we're also going to share a an enhancement to affirmations that we've developed, which is where you will actually read through a list of affirmations for orders that you've placed and record your own voice and overlay them onto what we call hemisync, which is an audio track that allows your mind to open in a very specific way to create calmness, and then you overlay your affirmations that you listen to yourself every single day in your pre-game and post-game. So it's a kind of an advancement, which I'm not going to go into too much detail about now. For today, take an order that you want to bring into your life in positive terms. Write down, I, Gareth Pickering, will make money on the stock market. I, Gareth Pickering, 10 times. And you can do this as many times as you want, but go through this process and then share this with your accountability partner. And also let us know in the community how this is going for you. If you're getting order confirmations, things are starting to happen that are bringing these orders into your life, or maybe an order becomes delivered. Share that piece of content with us and let us know how your lifestyle design journey is going. Until next time, ciao.